Good evening and welcome to the May meeting of the Wilmot Township Committee of Adjustment. I'd like to introduce the members of our committee in no particular order. We have Mr. Tyler Bowman, Ms. Louise Lalonde, and Mr. Steve Miller. Also with us, we have Mr. Andrew Martin, who is the EDO for the township, as well as the major planner, and Mr. Cameron Miller, who is a planner for the township and will also be introducing all of our applications this evening. Also like to thank Mr. Carl Jeffries, who is our technical wizard, keeping everything in line for us. So thank you all. I am not aware that there's anyone in the audience that wishes to read the land acknowledgement for the township of Wilmot, so I will do so. We have gathered in the Wilmot Township on the traditional territory of the Neutral, the Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee, and the Mississauga peoples. We also want to acknowledge the importance of the dish with the one spoon covenant, which is a peace agreement made between indigenous nations before the Europeans arrived. It characterizes our collective responsibility to each other and to Mother Earth. We should only take what we need and leave enough for others and keep the dish clean. By acknowledging this covenant and the First Nations, the Métis, and the Inuit peoples, we are reminded of our important connection to this land where we live, learn, and work together as a community. My name is Wayne Roth, and we are an independent body that has been appointed by Wilmot Township Council. And we have the power to make minor changes to existing zoning regulations and to approve some changes to existing non-conforming uses, as well as to give consent. Each applicant will be notified in writing of the decision of this committee within 10 days. And with that decision will be the instructions on how it may be appealed. Any decision made by this committee can be appealed to the local planning appeal board, who will then hold a meeting and make a final and binding decision. If a decision of this committee is not appealed, it will become final and binding after 20 days from the date of this meeting. And that also concerns the consent or the minor variance applications. The format of the meeting will be as follows. Mr. Miller will introduce each application, and then the applicant will be invited to come forward to add any additional information if they wish to do so. Following that, anyone in the audience will have the opportunity to speak for or against the application. Committee members will then be able to question the applicant if there are any issues to be resolved. And then the committee will make a decision. Members of the committee, is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act this evening? Seeing none, Mr. Miller, would you proceed with the first application, please?
Thank you, Mr. Roth. The first application is variance application A08/21 concerning 2901 Herbs Road. So this application is proposing to reduce the rear yard setback of a single detached dwelling from 7.5 meters to approximately 4.8 meters. The property is currently vacant following the recent demolition of the single detached dwelling that was on the property. Redevelopment is quite limited to the rear of the property due to the presence of a wetland, and as such, GRCA implemented a 30-meter wetland buffer as per their regulations. So in working with GRCA, the owners of the property have come to a development proposal that seeks to rebuild the home in the rear of the property, remaining largely outside of the buffer, which would result in a rear yard setback of 4.8 meters rather than the 7.5 meters that required. GRCA up until this point has indicated that they have no concerns with the proposal, and as such, staff are recommending that the application be approved.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miller. Mr. Martin, does the applicant wish to address the committee on this matter?
The applicant is in attendance. If they want to speak, if they want to raise their hand now, we can add them to the meeting. Otherwise, and they have raised their hand, so I will.
So we will assume that they do not wish to.
No, they're
okay.
Yeah, they're connecting right now here.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your time. The only thing that I just wanted to add is the existing house was always within the rear yard setback, and that's the only thing I just wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your comments. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to address committee in this matter? None that you're aware of, Mr. Martin? Okay. Members of committee, any comments or questions? Seeing none, I would ask someone to bring forth a motion to approve. Moved by Ms. Lalonde, seconded by Mr. Bowman. Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor? That motion is carried. Thank you very much, everyone. Mr. Miller, would you do the next application, please?
Thank you, Mr. Roth. The next application is A09/21 concerning 1088 Huron Street. This application is proposing to increase the maximum allowable height of a detached accessory building from 4.5 meters to approximately 5.25 meters. So as discussed in the report, the recent changes to the township zoning bylaw brought smaller agriculturally zoned properties more in line with residentially zoned properties. So this included introducing a maximum allowable height when the setback was less than 3 meters to the property line. So the applicant's proposing a slight increase in height to account for their intentions to construct a loft above, which would include area for storage. And therefore, there's a need for the increase in the maximum allowable height. Staff are of the opinion that this is a minor increase, received no concerns in circulating the application, and therefore recommending that it be approved.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miller. Mr. Martin, does the applicant wish to address committee?
They are in attendance. If they raise their hand, I will join them. And I'm not seeing a hand raised at all.
Okay, so then we'll assume that they're not going to make a comment. And I assume there's no one else in the audience that wishes to comment on this matter. Okay, thank you very much. Members of committee, any comments or questions on this application? Seeing none, would someone then bring forth the motion to approve this submission? Moved by Mr. Miller, seconded by Ms. Lalonde. Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor? That motion is carried. Thank you. Mr. Miller?
Thank you again, Mr. Roth. The next application is A10/21 concerning 11 Beecham Drive in New Dundee. This application is proposing to reduce the exterior side yard setback of a single detached dwelling from 6 meters to approximately 2 meters. The owner of the property is proposing an addition within 2 meters of the exterior side yard, which would include an additional dwelling unit attached. With the property being located on a corner, it's subject to a larger setback due to any sort of visibility concerns of 6 meters rather than the typical 1.5 or 2 meters that would be seen in this zone, depending on the number of stories. So currently there is minimal traffic that travels along Catherine Street, as it's currently a dead-end street. It provides direct residential access to 4 properties. Should the street ever be extended in the future to form a proper full cul-de-sac, staff are the opinion that it wouldn't result in any visibility concerns, as the addition would also still maintain the required corner visibility triangle. No concerns were raised and circulated in the application, and staff are recommending that it be approved.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Mr. Martin, does the applicant wish to address committee on this matter?
I see the applicant is in attendance. If they wish to speak, if they want to raise their hand right now, I will add them to the meeting. And I'm not seeing them raise their hand.
Okay, thank you. I assume then that they are satisfied with the submission. Members of committee, any comment? Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anyone else in the audience that wishes to comment? I assume there is none, Mr. Martin. Okay, I'll turn it over to members of committee. Any comments or questions regarding this submission? Seeing none, would someone then bring forth the motion to approve this submission? Moved by Mr. Bowman, seconded by Mr. Miller. Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor? That motion is carried. Thank you all. Mr. Miller, would you do the next application, please?
Thank you, Mr. Oath. The next application is consent application B06/21 concerning 203 Snyder's Road West in Baden. So this application is proposing to convey approximately 35 square meters from 203 Snyder's Road West as a lot addition to 199 Snyder's Road West. So as illustrated on the attached sketch that was attached to the report, the lot addition is just seeking to address an irregular shared lot boundary. The current lot configuration tightly follows the existing home on 199 Snyder's Road West, and the owner of the property is seeking to straighten out that property line to allow for more clearance to and from their back property. No concerns were raised in circulating the application, and staff recommend approval of the consent.
Thank you very kindly. Mr. Martin, does the applicant wish to address committee on this matter?
I'm not seeing a hand raised. We'll just give the applicant just a minute if they.
I know this applicant often has lots of times has a lot of things to say, but anyway.
I'm not seeing a hand raised, so I think we're.
Just kidding, Mr. Bechtold. I mean, you're one of the elders of the town, so I can see why there were no concerns raised with this application. Okay. Anyone else in the audience wishing to address committee on this matter? Seeing none. Members of committee, any comments or questions regarding this application? Seeing none, I would ask someone then to bring forth a motion to approve this submission. Moved by Ms. Lalonde, seconded by Mr. Bowman. Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor? That motion is carried. Thank you all. Thank you all of members of the virtual public for attending this evening. I do need a motion now to accept the minutes of our last meeting. Could someone bring forth a motion? Mr. Miller, and seconded by Ms. Lalonde. Any discussion? Not, all in favor? That motion is carried. Thank you. Mr. Martin, are there any applications coming forth for the month of June?
It looks like we'll have at least one, maybe two applications.
Okay.
So does June 2nd work for everyone?
Yeah. What's that date again?
Wednesday, June 2nd.
Okay, I just lost everybody here. My
It's my son's birthday. We might be at home. I hope not.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear
you.
Yep.
I've lost my video here. I don't know what happened. Open the Mr. Jeffries. What I have on my screen here says open the ULR Zoom launcher. What happened?
If you go down to the bottom, you probably just have your web browser. But down at the bottom, you should see a blue symbol. If you click on that, it should pop back up.
Nothing's happening. Maybe I'll open the Zoom launcher. Hang on for a minute here.
Or minimize the window.
Leave it. Join a new meeting. No, I don't want to do that. I see the blue circle, but it's not.
Sorry. I'll let Carl talk. He's smarter than me. So.
If you hover your mouse over the blue circle, there should be two windows that pop up.
Yes.
And choose the one where you see the videos in it.
I'm having a video issue.
No, just see the little Zoom video camera on the bottom of your screen.
No, I don't see it. I have a whole line of things here that I can't see the Zoom meeting window. And how do I join the meeting? It's like, well, anyway, that's okay. You guys don't have to see me anyway.
Well, we see you.
We see you.
I better keep my jacket on then, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So then everyone is okay with that date?
Well, other than Steve, you had suggested maybe it wouldn't work for you, right? But,
yeah, I don't think it probably will, but if everyone works for everyone else, then go for it.
Well, I guess, yeah, there's still be three of you, so that's fine. Yeah. I mean, potentially four. I don't know. I didn't hear from
Wayne.
Peter at all. So
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, look, let's go with it. And if it has to be changed, that can always be done collectively. Okay.
We'll be, you'll see Mr. Miller at the meeting after that. He's fortunate to be taking ownership of his new place and moving that week, so he'll be on
that'll
be
holidays.
off.
So.
That's wonderful, yeah.
Where did you say again? You're going?
I'm on, sorry, me,
Yeah.
I'm on, well, I'm moving to Forest Ave in New Hamburg.
Gotcha.
So
Wonderful.
yeah, May 31st, we get the keys. So that week I'll be unloading boxes and probably have no internet. So
Busy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very
Yeah.
good. All right, thank
right.
you all. Thank you
Thank you.
all.
Have a good
Stay
month.
safe. Stay
Nice to
safe.
see you.
You
Yeah,
as
stay
well.
safe.